can't get my hat fixed properly. Yeah. All right, so what is up, optimistic family? How has everyone been? And I apologize for the horrid absence. I've been working on my stream over at twitch.tv/optimism_24/7. But today, yes, we're going to talk about the mechanics of SysBot. So in terms of the mechanics of how SysBot works, a lot of people wonder, how does it do what it does? Right? How does it automatically connect and start a trade? That's a good question. Let's talk about it. So SysBot is a .exe file that was coded in C# by the devs of Kurt, Archidate, Anubis, and several others. This program in particular focuses on controlling your switch and making it do controls. So let's say you have what's called an Arduino board. I don't know if a lot of you know what that is, but you can tell it to send commands to whatever you plug it into. You can have an Arduino board do other things, but essentially that's what this program does. So there's a couple of things. If you guys have watched the how to set up SysBot in your own server video, you guys will actually kind of see a little bit of in-depth of how it works. So you download what's called SysBot base, right? Now, SysBot base goes onto your hacked switch's SD card. Now, what this file does in particular is it lets SysBot exe, the program on your PC, control your switch via local Wi-Fi. So when you have this program running from your computer, it's sending through your internet commands to your switch to have it do what you need it to do. And typically the only thing that it needs to do, right, is press Y, open up link trade, put in a random code that was given from sysbot.exe, and then once the trainer connects on the other end, the actual switch itself will open up into box 1, slot 1, where a Pokemon has been generated. And that's the part that's, kind of confusing people, but where the Pokemon that was requested has been generated. And once it gets there, the trade commences. You get that Pokemon that's in box 1, slot 1, and we, as the bot owners, get the Pokemon that you send us. They swap over, and we're done, right? And then if you have most bots, what they'll do is they will go ahead and send you a .pk8 file of the Pokemon you've created. How does all of this work, right? So you already know that the switch is being remote controlled due to the little files called SysBot base, but what you don't know is how the Pokemon is being generated. Now, I could be taking a risk at telling how, right? I doubt Nintendo's ever going to watch this, but I'm sure they already know, and there's not a whole lot they can do to, circumvent it. So let's talk about it. Okay, so as you guys can see over here, we're looking at two different instances of SysBot. Now, one of these is OptimismBot and the other one is Solgaleo. Both have their own folders, but I'm going to iterate a little bit on what happens in terms of the trades and why they work. So down here underneath legality, you can see that they're actually both set up to say Optimism now. So you can see that it generates an OT, it generates a trainer ID and a shiny ID, right? Or your secret ID rather. So you can also have it generate language, legal ribbons, matching balls. Now, how does it do this, right? So if we open up Chrome and we look at my dyno settings, if we open up Chrome and we have a look over here, when we type in SysBot, you see, hey, the video I'm talking about. But you can also see over here a SysBot based client. So this is your client. That's your client, sorry. So this is SysBot, right? This is where it goes. It talks about what it does. There's nothing really to hide, right? So the people who created SysBot also created PK Hex. So memory editing to them is nothing new. It's basically a working action replay that does what the bot tells it to do. So there's a couple of things such as auto legality mod which come into play, and that's something that you guys have seen also in some of the previous PK Hex videos. But what happens is whenever you go to Showdown and you're looking at Team Builder, you've got, let's say, one of the newest Pokemon, you've got this and you've got this file. Now, some of you wonder, how does it take this simple thing and turn it into a Pokemon? Now, since I wiped my PC, I don't have PKX anymore, which is really unfortunate. But basically what this does here, right? What this does is whenever you put it into PKX, or just whenever you put it into Discord in general, it sends a command through here into the SysBot folder. Now through the SysBot folder, that command runs through the AutoMod plugin and the PKX core. Now when it runs through that, it runs up to SysBot's service here. And once it gets into SysBot, it can generate the Pokemon. So think of it in terms of, and I explained this really well the other day to a friend of mine, Essentially Everything. I don't know if you guys have seen him or not, but he streams Rainbow Six Siege, Valorant, some other good stuff on his channel. But he asked me how it works. And the best way that I could describe it to him, right, is that the Pokemon is memory edited into box 1, slot 1, and the rest SysBot handles by simply controlling your switch. So when this Pokemon is created, it passes through the AutoMod plugin, does whatever it can to make it legal, makes it a working set, sends it over, and that's it. It goes into box 1, slot 1, SysBot does the rest. Right, SysBot knows. It was kind of like the old way that I tried to do a bot whenever I coded with Python, but I didn't have the memory editing in there, right? It couldn't place the Pokemon manually, so what I had to do was fill up my boxes, and I would just trade random Pokemon to people. So it was cool and it worked, but it didn't work quite as well as SysBot did. What does that mean in terms of new Pokemon? Now, a lot of people have been asking what happens when the new Pokemon come out, like recently. So let's say we pop over here into Discord and we go into the devs server. Now, I've been talking obviously about Animal Crossing a little bit. We're actually going to talk about this too at the end of this video. I think you guys are going to really like what's coming up. But down here, the devs upload what are called builds. Okay, now these builds, like this one was yesterday at 6:58. Okay, hidden ability starters came out, right? And so did the Gmax starters. This supports Gmax starters. Everything that's in the server right now is updated to this point. So basically, this was for hidden ability starters. This was for the Gmax starters that were legal, like Bulbasaur, Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard. Hold on. No, it's just Blastoise and Venusaur. Yeah, so that they were updated. Nonetheless, they're in-game and legal, and so the bot can generate them. So whenever the DLC comes out, if Nintendo doesn't patch memory offsets, we'll be able to get this, something like this, straight away. So we'll be able to gen Pokemon, and the only thing I have to do, and the other bot owners have to do, is download these plugins, come over here, find the bot that they want to put it into, and drag in the PKX core and the AutoMod plugin, and we're good to go. That's it. Super clean, super simple, super easy, as always. So optimistically speaking, we're in a good place right now. That's that. Let's talk about the last thing now that I'm really excited about. All right, so the last thing that I want to talk about, and probably the most excitable thing really outside of the DLC Pokemon being able to come out, is Animal Crossing. Now, I told everyone I was going to stick to my guns and I was going to continue playing Pokemon, but that doesn't mean we can't have a little bit of fun in Animal Crossing land, because I know a lot of the people that play Pokemon play Animal Crossing and they really enjoy Animal Crossing. So we have a new bot on the way, but before it's turned into a SysBot, I'm going to get Animal Crossing. Yes, I said it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get Animal Crossing. We're going to edit the Animal Crossing save. I'm going to make a big island covered in money, Nook Miles, basically every resource in the game that you could ever think of. is going to be covered on this island. So anything that you can think of, it's like this island's going to be one big store. And so what'll happen is I'll add you as a friend. You can come into my island and you can get whatever you need. So gate's always going to be there. I can't stop giving. It's just legit what I want to do. I just want to give you guys a bunch of stuff. Pokemon stale and Animal Crossing it's starting to get stale, but before it does, we're gonna give a bunch of free stuff out. So, you know, if you guys do want to see more bots in the server, you can support through Patreon. You can support through Twitch. More on that in the Discord server on the hashtag how to access. You'll see the Twitch sub link, you'll see the Patreon link. So that's if you guys do want to support a little bit more to help more bots get in the server, much like the one that we're about to add. You guys have been phenomenal. Sorry if the editing is bad. My editor is out protesting right now. So don't demonetize me for that, YouTube. But yeah. Anyway, you all have a great day. I'm excited. June 8th is when the Animal Crossing stuff will start happening. And in terms of Pokemon, let's just have fun until the DLC comes out. Y'all have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching, and do me the biggest favor in the world. Stay optimistic.